Hello, it's Marek. Welcome to MDrives and welcome to another video. Today I'm in Subaru Solterra and it's the first fully electric vehicle from Subaru. So I'm really curious what they've done. Obviously the vehicle is a typical 4x4. It's not a sprint, it's not your Scooby. It's gonna be something comfortable which can actually take you off-road. Unfortunately today I won't be able to test that, but I'm really curious how it will behave on the road because I'm expecting it to be very comfortable. So let's jump in and test this vehicle now.
But before we go for a drive, let me tell you a bit more about the car. It's full of sharp edges and interesting accents. It comes with permanent four-wheel drive as standard. The car offers 211mm of ground clearance, which is more than enough to attack all the curbs in a city you can find. Prices starts from about £50,000 for the base version, and you have to pay another £3,000 to upgrade to touring spec, which you can see here today, which gives you 20-inch alloy wheels, a panoramic roof, Harman Kardon sound system, wireless smartphone charging and electric passenger seat. The boot space of Solterra measures 452 litres and drops down to 441 if you go with the touring spec. There is a large storage space underneath the floating center console. There is plenty of physical buttons everywhere, so if you hate touchscreens, you won't be disappointed. At the back, there is plenty of space for your passengers. There is also plenty of USB-C sockets around the car. Now, let's go for a drive.
The car feels very comfortable. You are sitting in it in very commanding position. You can feel you are sitting higher. The car feels extremely plush and comfortable. At the moment I'm in a normal mode and everything seems to be quiet and just the cockpit wraps around me, which is absolutely fantastic feel. It doesn't feel like you're sitting in a very minimalistic vehicle. It very much feels like it's all orientated on a driver. So I've got my center console here with a nice widescreen at the top, but most importantly a lot of buttons, so I can actually set things by touching buttons rather than going into the menus, which can be quite frustrating when you're driving a car. Also, what's very important to me, the car has a very nice and clear screen ahead of me, which some cars lack. And I think it's a big advantage of this car because I've got all the information here right next to me, and also that screen is actually very far away from me as well, so it is almost like you are having a head-up display in a car. I also do have quite a lot of buttons on the steering wheel, which again, they are not haptic, they are physical buttons, which is amazing. I'm so glad that manufacturers these days, I think, realize that probably an overload of the screens isn't anything good in a car. You still need to be able to just touch the button, make sure you know what you're pressing. So very well done, Subaru. In terms of the trim, everything looks nice and soft. There is a lot of black piano details around me, and yeah, it all looks very pleasant. In addition, I do have a panoramic roof, which adds a lot of light into the interior, which I think is needed when you go for a spec like this, where there's a lot of black elements. The seats are leather and they are very comfortable. Very soft, again, like I said, that I have a lot of settings, so I'm very comfortable in them.
Inside you will find a lot of tech and everything sort of wraps around you. The infotainment offers 12.3-inch screen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto via cable. The engines aren't very powerful, offering only 215 horsepower and 337 Nm of torque. However, this is enough to move this vehicle from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 6.9 seconds. When it comes to the range, the car offers 289 miles in the cheaper trim, and touring spec offers you 257 miles. The X mode offers different modes for the deep snow, mud and other rough terrain.
Right, so okay, let's test acceleration of this car, which obviously isn't a main feature of this car, but let's test it anyway. Obviously, absolutely no problem, as the car has four-wheel drive and it accelerates absolutely fine. So I always come back to the same thought that the car, when it's around 7 seconds to 60, that's plenty enough for everyday driver. You can comfortably accelerate when you already at speed because of the instant torque, so the overtaking will be really easy, and you don't really need any more when you daily drive a car. So the car has a lot of different features which are quite nice. So for example, it recognizes the driver's face, so when a different driver goes in, it will preset all of the settings saved for that particular driver, which is a nice feature to have. Sitting in this car, I feel like I'm in a much bigger vehicle than it actually looks from the outside, and it's because of that center console. It makes me feel like I'm in a very large space, although I don't have a lot of space around me because, as I mentioned before, I'm surrounded by the dash, which I really like. Yeah, it feels really nice. And over the last 2 days I drove quite a lot of EVs, and to be honest, this is by far the most comfortable one, and I really feel nice sitting higher. I think it really, this type of the car, this type of body really suits EV. It just matches, because you never expect from an SUV a huge performance, and you're not gonna race it anywhere. Turning and accelerating at the same time, absolutely no problem. As I said, four-wheel drive, it's absolutely great. The engines aren't very powerful. Together they only provide 218 horsepower, but as I said, that is plenty enough. In terms of range, Subaru claims around 280 miles for the model with the smaller wheels, and for this one, which is the higher trim, I think it goes down to about 250, so you're losing that 30 miles of range. However, you get bigger wheels and other options which you wouldn't get in the lower model, like this beautiful panoramic roof. So the car handles surprisingly well for a taller vehicle. As I said, the main feature I would say I'm taking from this drive, it's the comfort. And I'm keep coming back to that, but I think I need to, because it feels really good. You've got the paddles behind your steering wheel, which reminds you the old gearbox paddles, but they actually are for the regen, so I can actually increase, and the car is slowing faster straight away, I can increase or decrease the regen, which is a nice option to have. The car also offers single pedal mode. I haven't tried it, but basically what it does, it takes the regen even step further, providing the braking power, the maximum braking power the regen actually offers. So in terms of the space, this is where this car really shines. So at the back, even behind myself, and I'm 6'2", there is still plenty of space. I could easily fit in there and travel in comfort. So as a family car, this is really spot on. As this is Subaru and it's a four-wheel drive, the car actually offers X modes, and X modes are basically the modes which let you drive on a different terrain. So you can drive on gravel, snow, etc. It also has the mode where it can climb the hills on its own. So yeah, all of that unfortunately I can't test today. Another comfort feature is that the rear seats in this particular model are actually heated too, so your passengers will feel very warm and cozy even in the winter. And now we're back on quite rough terrain again, quite rough surface with a lot of bumps, and honestly the car feels very plush. It really smoothens the road. I know this road really well, and in my car it feels like a torture. So yeah, this car gives you a really good comfort, and also it really insulates you from a lot of noises from the outside. During this drive I didn't really notice any wind noise, and the tire noise, I don't think I realized that there is any, so that's a good thing. That means it's really, really quiet. So this is everything I had for you today, because this was only a one-take video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm hoping that in the future I might be able to drive this car for a bit longer to give you a bit more information on this car and how it behaves in the different situations. But thank you for watching. Please remember, give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and I see you shortly in the next video. Goodbye, do widzenia.